What's up, football fans? Today we've got a situation brewing in Pittsburgh that could end up defining the entire draft strategy for the Steelers. And yeah, it's getting a little messy. With just 10 days left until the 2025 NFL Draft kicks off in Green Bay, the clock is ticking, and the uncertainty surrounding one particular veteran player is casting a long shadow over the team's plans. Every day that goes by without a decision from him makes it feel less and less likely that he'll be suiting up in black and gold this season. Right now, the vibe around the organization is tense. Unless the front office pushes for a firm answer before the draft, they might have to go into that first round without knowing if their potential starter is even in the picture. And let's be honest, that's not a position any franchise wants to be in, making your top pick without knowing what's happening at the most important position on the field. Steelers fans better buckle up, because if you're hoping for a clear answer this week, don't hold your breath. The reality is, we might not hear anything definitive until draft week itself, or even a few days after it wraps up. Now here's what could be driving all this delay. It seems like this veteran is holding off because he needs more clarity about the team he'd be joining. If he already had all the information he wanted, this decision, whether it's returning, retiring, or heading elsewhere, would have been done by now. But the only real way to get a full picture of what this Steelers team will look like in 2025 is by seeing who they grab in the draft. It's a critical window for the franchise to make bold moves, maybe even pull off a trade or two, and load up the roster with the kind of talent that can turn a fringe team into a playoff contender. And one name that keeps coming up in these potential trades? George Pickens. Yeah, that's right. He's got real value on the market, and if the right offer comes in, don't be shocked if the Steelers pull the trigger. This all ties back to the veteran in question. If he's watching closely, he's probably trying to figure out who'll still be around when training camp starts. Will the team build around him, or start shifting to a new era? One theory floating around is that he might not want to commit if Pittsburgh decides to grab a quarterback in the first round. And honestly, can you blame him? If you're thinking about signing on for 1 or 2 more seasons, and then you see your team use a top pick on your replacement, it sends a pretty clear message, especially if your goal is to win now. You don't want to be looking over your shoulder every week, wondering if your time is already running out before you've even taken a snap. That exact scenario already played out for another veteran last year. Sign a multi-year deal, and bam, first-round QB right behind him. That guy's now stuck in limbo, trying to lead a team that doesn't fully believe in him, while the rookie they drafted struggles to live up to expectations. It's not a good look, and you've got to think our mystery man in Pittsburgh has that situation on his mind. It's possible there's already been some kind of handshake agreement with the front office. Like, hey, don't take a quarterback in the first round and I'll come back. That kind of understanding could give both sides some peace of mind. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. As of right now, it's all speculation. The optimistic read here is that he's simply waiting to see the full picture before committing, which makes sense. But the reality is, time is running out. Once the draft wraps, he's only got a few days, maybe a couple of weeks, to make a call. This isn't something that can drag on into summer. Now here's the tough truth. Maybe he's just not into the idea of playing for the Steelers anymore. We know he reached out to another team during free agency and showed real interest in joining them. That didn't pan out, but you have to wonder if he's still holding out hope for something to shift, like an injury to another quarterback or a bad spring showing that opens up a roster spot somewhere else. If that happens, he might make a move. Meanwhile, the Steelers can't just sit on their hands. They got a draft to prepare for, and quarterback is the elephant in the room. Unless there's real confidence that this veteran is coming back, they got to be thinking about using that first-round pick on a quarterback. Their current backup? He's not the answer. Not in the short term, not in the long term. He's a solid guy, but you're not building a future around him. And if the vet doesn't come back, Pittsburgh needs someone who can step in fast. Maybe not right away, but certainly by mid-season. That brings us to the talent pool. There are a few quarterbacks being linked to the Steelers for that first-round pick, a standout from Colorado, another from Ole Miss, a guy from Alabama, and one from Louisville. All 4 have been in the conversation, and each brings something different to the table. But if you're the Steelers and you're still holding out for this veteran to return, you probably don't want to take someone who's going to need a year or 2 on the bench just to be ready. You need a player who can contribute now, or you wait and make your move in round 3 or 4. And speaking of round 3, there are some decent options expected to be available there too. These are guys who might not have first-round hype, but with the right coaching and a bit of time, they could develop into solid starters. But again, all of this hinges on that veteran. If he's back in the fold, the Steelers can afford to be patient. If not, they better not leave anything to chance. There's one quarterback in particular, the one ranked 4th on most boards, who would be a real head-scratcher if he were taken in round 1. Whether or not the veteran is there, this guy just isn't ready. He needs serious development time, and Pittsburgh doesn't have the luxury to wait. He could make more sense in round 3, where the expectations are lower and the pressure isn't so intense. Let him sit behind a pro, learn the ropes, and maybe take over down the road. And honestly, that might be the ideal scenario. If the vet comes back for a season or 2, and the team can grab a raw, talented kid in round 3, it's a win-win. You get leadership and experience in the short term, and a potential star ready to take over later. That's a dream setup for any franchise looking to transition smoothly. But again, everything is riding on what happens in the next 10 days. Will the Steelers go all in on a new quarterback, or are they going to roll the dice and hope their veteran says yes? Either way, draft night is going to be a roller coaster. Now, when we start breaking down these quarterbacks and where they fit into Pittsburgh's offense, there are some serious questions about who actually fits the bill. Let's take a closer look at the guy who's currently sitting 3rd on most draft boards. This is someone whose college tape has been dropping in value, despite once being in the conversation as a top 5 pick. The buzz has cooled, and it's easy to see why. While he flashes clean mechanics and shows solid accuracy on short and mid-range throws, there are some real concerns. He understands how to place the ball and shows good vision against different defensive schemes. There's no doubt he's well coached, and he's not afraid to take hits in the pocket. That toughness matters, especially coming from a program where the offensive line wasn't exactly elite. He's had to deal with pressure before, a lot of it, so he's already battle-tested in that department. And he's got the kind of mobility that surprises people. He can extend plays outside the pocket and occasionally drop some beautiful deep balls when he's on the move. But then come the red flags. He comes from a very college-heavy system, full of bubble screens and quick reads. That stuff doesn't always translate well to the pros. He's not consistently going through full field progressions, and that raises doubts about how quickly he can adapt to an NFL playbook. His arm strength is also pretty average, not a noodle, but definitely not elite. That limits what he can do when things break down or when he's forced to throw deep across the field. And when the pressure comes, he's not always clean. His pocket presence is shaky at times. He tends to drift, pull himself into trouble, and create sacks that didn't need to happen. That's the kind of thing that needs to get cleaned up fast at the next level. There were also moments where he held onto the ball too long, looking to be the hero instead of making the smart play and just throwing it away. His athleticism? It's fine, but he's not going to outrun linebackers or pick up big chunk yards on the ground. He's not that kind of dual-threat quarterback. Add to that the fact that he doesn't show top-tier anticipation and sometimes hesitates just to beat too long on throws, and suddenly you've got a guy who might not be ready for the pressure cooker that is an NFL huddle. If Pittsburgh is hoping for a plug-and-play type, this isn't the guy. Then there's another quarterback in the mix, one from a respected program who flashes some exciting traits but still carries question marks. He's got great accuracy in the short and intermediate game and really thrives in RPO and quick throw situations. When it lets it rip downfield, there's touch, timing, and ball placement that stand out. He can take hits and still deliver high-quality throws. And he's an underrated runner too. Not a burner, but he'll keep you honest if the pocket collapses. He shows flashes of anticipation and processing, and there are whispers about his leadership and locker room presence, things coaches love. But his college system was super simplified. Tons of screens, designed throws, and pre-snap reads. He's not making a lot of real-time decisions post-snap, and that's a problem at the next level. You can see in the tape, passes that don't adjust to shifting coverages, late throws into traffic, and a general sense that the game hasn't fully slowed down for him yet. He also struggles under pressure, not just with his reads, but with his overall poise. He misses blitzers, panics in the pocket, and doesn't always escape cleanly. His arm strength is average, maybe a B or B+, and you can see that in tight windows or when the wind picks up. He also fades late in games, which isn't what you want in your quarterback of the future. But stylistically, he might be a better fit for the Steelers' offense than some of the others. Then we've got a real wild card. This quarterback might not be perfect, but physically he checks a lot of boxes. He's bigger than most of the group, has a stronger arm, and throws with more consistency at every level of the field. His footwork is polished, especially under pressure, and he doesn't panic when things collapse. His mechanics are clean and compact, allowing him to release the ball quickly, and with some serious zip. His deep ball might be the best in the class. And for a team like Pittsburgh, with a couple of receivers who can stretch the field, that's a huge asset. His sack avoidance numbers are off the charts, with a pressure-to-sack rate under 10%. That's elite. He's smart with the ball, recognizes blitzes early, and throws with anticipation. What sets him apart is how NFL-ready he looks, not just physically, but mentally. He's already played in a pro-style offense, so there's less of a learning curve. Plus, his off-platform throws are legit. He's got highlights rolling to his left, launching bombs with accuracy and confidence. This guy's got juice. Now, there are some knocks. For one, he'll be 26 years old when the season starts. That's old for a rookie quarterback. And his injury history? Definitely a concern. He's broken his collarbone twice and also had a fibula fracture. That's a red flag when you're investing first-round capital. There's also the occasional hesitation in the pocket, not quite trusting his line and firing off throws early or off balance, leading to some questionable decisions. But even with all that, many scouts are calling him the most pro-ready QB in the draft. We're talking about Tyler Shuck. And if you ask around the league, you'll find plenty of execs who think he's flying under the radar. The idea of trading down, grabbing an extra second-rounder, and still snagging Shuck late in round 1 or even at pick 33. That's starting to sound more and more like a smart move, especially if Pittsburgh doesn't want to burn their top pick on a boom or bust project. If Shuck is still there in round 3, that's a steal. But don't count on it. Several QB-needy teams pick ahead of the Steelers' third-round spot, and some have multiple picks on day 2. So waiting might be a risk they can't afford to take. If he's your guy, the one you believe in, you go get him. Trade down from your first-round spot, grab Shuck, and use the extra pick to shore up another area like defensive tackle or running back. That flexibility could be huge, especially if your veteran quarterback situation clears up and you know you've got a bridge in place. Let Shuck sit, learn, and step in come 2026. That's a strong plan. But if that veteran doesn't return, then the Steelers can't afford to gamble. They need certainty at quarterback, and that might mean using their first pick to secure it. What's clear is this. Pittsburgh's quarterback situation is shaping everything about their draft strategy. From how high they're willing to pick a QB to what kind of player they want, it all hinges on one unanswered question. Will the veteran come back? Or is this the start of a new era? One thing's for sure, draft night is going to be dramatic. And whichever way the Steelers go, it's going to tell us a lot about where this franchise sees itself headed. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In the world of the NFL, few names evoke as much excitement as Tyreek Hill. Known for his unparalleled speed, the wide receiver, nicknamed Cheetah, has been a force on the field ever since his rookie season. From his beginnings at Garden City and West Alabama to his explosive years with the Kansas City Chiefs and Miami Dolphins, Hill's career has been nothing short of spectacular. But now, rumors are swirling, sparking a frenzy among NFL fans. Could Tyreek Hill be packing his bags for Pittsburgh? A potential move to the Steelers is creating buzz, and here's why this could be one of the most electrifying shifts in the league. Tyreek Hill's impact in the NFL is undeniable. In 2023, he led the NFL in receiving yards, finishing with an astonishing 1,799 yards and 13 touchdowns. His consistent ability to perform at a high level, season after season, earned him Pro Bowl honors and a spot on the first-team All-Pro. Whether it's his jaw-dropping receptions or his game-changing touchdowns, Hill has always had a knack for electrifying his team and fans alike. The question now is, could the Steelers, who have long been known for their physicality and defense, be the perfect place for Hill to showcase his explosive play style? Pittsburgh's offense have been in need of a dynamic playmaker to complement its solid defense. With Hill's ability to change the game with one touch, he could be the missing piece that takes the Steelers to the next level. Imagine pairing him with a quarterback like Kenny Pickett, whose development has been promising. The Steelers' offense, which has shown flashes of brilliance, could go from good to elite with Hill's speed and skill set. Hill's experience in high-pressure games, including his Super Bowl 54 victory with the Chiefs, would also provide a valuable veteran presence that could guide the younger players on the Steelers roster. Yet, the move wouldn't be without its challenges. The Steelers would have to manage Hill's unique personality and the possible distractions that come with his larger-than-life presence. Hill's recent frustration with the Miami Dolphins after their disappointing 2024 season, where he expressed dissatisfaction with the team's performance, showed a side of him that can sometimes boil over. While his passion is undeniable, the Steelers would need to ensure that his mentality aligns with the team's culture. Still, considering Hill's unmatched athleticism and ability to put up record-breaking numbers, it's a risk that could very well be worth taking. Ultimately, the potential addition of Tyreek Hill to the Pittsburgh Steelers would undoubtedly shake up the NFL landscape. With Hill's speed, explosiveness, and proven track record, the Steelers would not only have a top-tier wide receiver, but also a game-changing weapon who could lead them to new heights. Whether or not the move becomes a reality remains to be seen, but the mere thought of Hill donning the black and gold has fans and analysts alike eagerly anticipating what could be a historic shift in the NFL. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Pittsburgh Steelers, make sure to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.